All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Barak Wadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aqua that's listening in. Yahweh Rakazah, Lord willing, that this lesson is edifying. Brother Shawab Omawan back at you with another lesson. The title of this lesson is going to be called Keep Watering Your Garden. All right. And what I mean by keep watering your garden is to keep enhancing your knowledge in this truth, right? You got to keep growing in this truth, okay? You can't sit still in one spot, all right? Matter of fact, grab scripture that just came to mind. This is select 1 second. Um, Let this tree for another year. So yeah, back to what I was saying. All right. You have to continually grow in this truth. Can't sit can't sit in one spot. So like, damn, you gotta constantly be flowing with rivers of living water, growing in this truth more and more. Right? Any tree that doesn't, grow fruit is pretty much, casted into the fire. Right? It's honed down. Uh, let this tree be here. This is Luke 13:8, and it says 13:6. He spake also this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came and sought fruit thereon, and found none. Then said he unto this dresser of his vineyard, Behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree, and find none. Cut it down. Why cumbereth the ground? And he answered and said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year also, till I shall dig about it and dung it. And if it bear fruit, well. If not, then after that thou shalt cut it down. All right. So basically, this tree, all right, basically when Yahushua was coming looking for um fruit, you know, there was no fruit being given. There was no growth in this truth, Could be many reasons why, being straight sluggish, slothful, lazy, whatever you want to call it. All right. But you're supposed to be what? Doubling on your talents, man. All right. You're supposed to be showing your works, let your light shine forth. Right. So basically, this tree was in the truth 3 years and it wasn't doing nothing. It wasn't growing fruit or anything. So Yahweh Shai was saying to what? Cut Salakia, to cut it down. You see? Because it's cumbereth the ground, meaning it's taking up space in the ground. What do you need the tree there for if it's not doing anything? You see? But then he begged them and said, let it be one more year, and if it grow fruit, then then that's a good thing, because that's what you want to do. You want to continually grow in this truth, man. All right. But if it wasn't, all right, again, any tree that brings no fruit, man, is going to be casted into the fire. It's honed down. It's cut down. All right. With that, let me go to Wisdom of Solomon. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5. No, Slacking. That was Solomon 5. Hebrews 5, and I was thinking about something else. Hebrews 5 and 1. It says, select it. That's not the one I want either. I'm trying to search and drive at the same time. Select it. Uh, 7. One second, bear with me. Certain scripture in Hebrews. I'm trying to think I have to pull over real quick so I can find it. Do that real quick. There you go. Let's search this real quick. This is Hebrews. Yeah, Hebrews 6, Salakia. I thought it was 5. Hebrews 6 and 1, and it says, I'm in a bad spot. This is Hebrews 6 and 1, and it says, therefore, leaving the principles of doctrine of Hamashiach, let us go on to perfection, not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead works and of faith toward Yahweh, of the doctrine of baptisms, and laying on the hands and resurrection of the dead, and of eternal judgment. For this will we do if Yahweh permit. All right, meaning that you have to grow in this truth and not stay stuck on the basics. See, when you first start, you're drinking off that milk. See, to whom shall he teach knowledge? Those that are weaned from the milk. You on the basics. When you're a baby, you have to, in order for you to grow, you have to drink on that milk. All right. But once you drink on that milk, you're able to what? You're able to, grow. You're able to hold your own bottle. No one has to feed you. You see, you're now ready to eat. You know, real food. Well, it ain't real food out here, but as a baby, you go from baby food to, now you're eating, little pieces of meat. That's what it means to grow in this truth, man. All right. As a matter of fact, to have a better understanding, let me grab it from the NLT. All right. And it says, this is Hebrews 6:1 from the NLT, and it says, so let us stop going over the basic teachings about Hamashiach again and again. Let us go on instead and become mature in our understanding. You see, you have to grow in this truth, man. If you're not growing in this truth, man, there's something you have to do more, more fasting, possibly more reading, more, watching videos. All right. But you want to, Apostle Gabar always goes into it of talking how there's different levels of understanding. See, when you first come into that truth, you're like that parrot. All right. You're like that parrot and that monkey see, monkey do. You just pretty much repeating what you're hearing, but as you grow in this truth, you want to grow to that knowledge of the dragon and an owl. See, where now you're able to go on your own and preach the word literally through the spirit. You see? So, you want to reach that level of that owl and that dragon, which is high-end wisdom. See, which at the end of the day, if you are of the elect, you're going to grow in this truth. You're going to be that high value man that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua wants you to be. All right. Now, we are also given a certain measure of, talents, but you got to use your talents to so it almost feels like it's expiring and you're still using it. See, master that craft. We're all striving for the masteries. All right. So you got to give it your all with the talent that you were given. You see, whatever it is. Some brothers are, stronger in faith. Some brothers are stronger with knowledge and certain things. All right. Some brothers are more eloquent in speaking and, but at the end of the day, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to give you that strength, all right, to continue on and to, increase in knowledge, all right, which Yahweh Bashim Yahushua gives you that increase, which I'll get that in a moment, all right. So you have to grow in this truth, man. You have to. It's required for you to grow in this truth, because if you're not, you're not having that flow of you're not having the flow of the rivers of living water. You're being stagnant, man. You're just sitting still in one spot and nothing's happening. Okay. So back to Hebrews 6:1 in the NLT, it says, so let us stop going over the basic teachings about Hamashiach again and again. Let us go on instead and become mature in our understanding. Surely we don't need to start again with the fundamental importance of repenting from evil deeds and placing our faith in Yahweh. You don't need further instruction about baptisms and laying on of hands and resurrection of the dead and eternal judgment. And so, Yahweh willing, we will move forward to further understanding. See? And at the end of the day, you having that further understanding, that's Yahweh Bashim Yahushua giving you that increase, man. All right? Because the increase comes from him. All right, this is 1 Corinthians 3 and Start from the top. It says, and I, brethren, cannot speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Hamashiach. I have fed you with milk and not with meat. Yeah, because in order for you to eat that meat, man, you have to grow in this truth. You can't just come into this truth and think you're about to understand the deepness of the scriptures, man. You have to start little by little. You have to get little by little as you go. See? And it says, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for here too ye were not able to bear it. You see, you're not able to bear it when you're just giving straight meat off the rip. All right, you choke on it. See, too much honey, like you say in the scriptures, you end up vomiting it. You have to take that honey little by little, eating the raw little by little. All right, it says, for here too ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able, for ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? For while one saith, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos, are ye not carnal? Who then is Paul, and who is Apollos? By ministers by whom ye believe, even as the Lord gave to every man. I have planted, Apollos watered, but Yahweh gave the increase. You see? So Yahweh Bashim Yahushua at the end of the day is the one that gives you that increase, man. All right. It says, so then neither is he that planted anything, neither he that watereth, but Yahweh that giveth the increase. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. And that's why you have to study to show thyself approved, man. See, the more you study, the more you read, the more you pray and you ask for wisdom and knowledge, it'll be given to you, man. If it be Yahweh Bashim Yahushua's will to give you that increase. You see? And this is why you got to stay on fire and continue pushing the word over and over and over again. See, it becomes repetition, man. When you go to the gym, in order for you to, increase your muscles and all that, man, it's repetition, doing the same things over and over. But as you're going, you're increasing in weight. So it's the same thing with us. We're doing the same thing over and over, pushing the same word over and over and over again. But as you're pushing the word, all right, you learn something new every time you're reading the same sentence. It makes more sense every time. You see? And that's what coming with the growth. All right. Let me go to Proverbs 4:18. It's Proverbs 4:18, and it says, but the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more onto the perfect day. You see? And our light is going to shine more and more. How do you make your light shine more and more? By, meditating in this word day and night. All right? Let's grab Joshua 1:8. And it says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe, Salakia, to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and thou shalt have good success. You see? You make your way prosperous by continuing in the word. All right? This is Ecclesiasticus 39 and 1, and it says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High Yahweh, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. You see? He shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travail through strange countries. So like he will travel through strange countries, for he has tried the good and the evil among men. So like it says when the Lord, so like 5, he will give his heart to resort early to the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that made him, and will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer and make supplication for his sins, meaning begging. All right. It says, when the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise sentences and give thanks unto the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua in his prayer. He shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and his secrets shall he meditate. You see, he shall show forth that which he has learned. You see, because you're growing and growing, so now you're able to be on your own. All right, now you're able to bring out lessons left and right. You know, go out there and preach 2-3 hours. All right, why? Because you have wisdom to continue. You see, when you're not growing in the truth, man, it's hard for you to really go out there and do 2-3 hours. Which at the end of the day, that's just the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua on you, man. You see? But it says, he shall show forth that which he has learned, and shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Many shall commend his understanding, and so long as the world endureth, it shall not be blotted out. His memorial shall not depart away, and his name shall live from generation to generation. Yeah, because see, continuing in the works, man, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is not going to forget your labor of love toward this ministry, man. We're going to be written in the book, Acts 2.0. You see? In the kingdom, our children are going to read about, Lord willing, we those men, our children are going to read about us, man, about the great works that we did and that we labored in. You see? So this is why you got to meditate in these scriptures all day long, because that's how you get that knowledge increase, through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, putting that spirit on. All right, this is let me go to Proverbs 1 and 5. Proverbs 1 and 5. It says, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. See? It says to understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. See? Because why? You're quick to hear. When you come to this truth, man, you got to be quick to hear. You got to do more hearing than anything. Listening, what the elders, have put out, because at the end of the day, we enter into other men's labors. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has gave us pastors according to his heart. All right. He has set up men, starting with those elders and apostles, man, that have been laboring in this truth 30+ years, which they've done all the labor for us. They've done all the heavy lifting for us. Now we just got to listen. And as we're listening, we got to, follow along, and you yourself have to do the reading. You have to be persuaded in your own mind, like the scriptures say. Okay? And you know, Lord's will, if it's his will, he will give you that increase in due time. Okay? Let's go to, this is Proverbs 9 and 9, and it says, give instruction to a wise man, and he will yet be wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. You see? So if you're wise, man, and you one that follows instructions, which Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is commanding you to what? You know, to stay occupied until he come. That's why I say, blessed to see that readeth. You know, blessed to see that readeth. So if you constantly occupying yourself with just the meditation of these scriptures, man, again, in due time, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah will give you your increase if it's his will. This is Titus 1 and 9. Holding fast that faithful word as he has been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. Yeah, because see, when you grow in this truth, you're able to convince. You see, you're able to feed the sheep. Okay, and you're able to what? You're able to encourage them in this truth. You're able to show them that these scriptures is real, man. That these scriptures is living waters. Because see, they're gonna see a particular light in you. Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. They're gonna see those living waters, man. When you constantly just speaking left to right on scriptures, pulling out this scripture, pulling out that scripture, talking, and you don't shut up. You see, they're gonna see that, man. They're gonna realize, and you know, I've had people say that to me, you know, in certain occasions, man. There's something about you, bro. You just got a certain light, you know, certain aura around us. Yeah, because we have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai on us, man. You see, it's not to boast myself at all. You got to always remain humble, man. The water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for being able to give me this knowledge and being able to go out there and teach, you know, being apt to teach this truth. You know, I just hope that I always, you know, edify and bringing out the word of sincerity and truth and not handling the word deceitfully. You see? But, you know, when brothers is preaching, man, you can just see it. That brothers in a certain spirit and that the Lord is dealing with them. Why? Because they're constantly growing in this truth. You know, you got to show that dedication to this truth, man. Dedication is everything. Because that's what Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai wants you to do. He wants you to dedicate your time, the rest of your time on this earth, all right, to him. And that's a scripture too. I forgot exactly where it's at. I want to say, I think it's in Corinthians. But it talks about how, you know, the rest of the time you being on this earth, man, you're supposed to dedicate your time to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, especially once you come into this truth and hear this word. When you hear this word, man, that's your calling. You see, let me see if I remember how it goes. And it says, for the remaining of your days, you should be in this truth, KJV. See if I can bring it up real quick. Um, let's see. The remaining of his days, KJV. Forgot how it goes. I know I'm working wrong. I was hoping to pop up like that. All right. But regardless, going back, stay on topic. All right. This is the only thing you should be doing. See, we have not much time left, man. And everything that's out there in the world, none of that is going to bring you salvation. The only thing that's going to bring you salvation is this word, man, this truth. And this is why you have to meditate in it, marinate in it. Just like how do you get the best taste when you want to cook something, right? How you get the best taste of something is by marinating it in the fridge the day before for the whole day, possibly 2 days. You see, so when you go to cook it, that taste is that taste is soaked up in there. Well, that's how it is with this truth. You want your best results. Your best results come from you marinating in this truth. All right. Which at the end of the day, once you come into the truth, you can't depart from it. Because again, that's your calling. Matter of fact, let me grab that. Who has called us into this ministry, KJV? Might be in the same. Which was by our calling, KJV. Come on. Which was by our calling, KJV. Oh man, this damn phone sometimes, man. This is 2 Timothy 1 and 9. 2 Timothy 1 and 9. And it says, I'll start at 8, and it says, be not thou therefore ashamed, nor of me, his prisoner, but thou art partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of Yahweh, who has saved us and called us with an holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace, which was given up our shy before the world began, but is now made manifest by the appearing of our Savior Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who has abolished death and has brought life and immortality to light through the gospel. You see? So, you know, we're called into the ministry, man. You know, which at the end of the day, we're all actually predestined, you know, from the beginning. That's why it tells you that in Jeremiah 1 and 5. It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. All right. And if you are called to go out in these highways and hedges, man, this is why you got to constantly grow in this truth, man. You have no choice but to grow. You are ordained to be a prophet. You are ordained to go out there and shed light on the house of Israel, spread the gospel. Okay. Man, I want to find that scripture I was thinking of too. It's all good though. All right. So going back to Titus, that's where I was at. Titus 1 and 9. All right. It says, holding fast the faithful word as he has been taught. Yeah, so everything that we're taught, man, we got to hold on to it. Holding fast. All right. Hold that crown that is given to you. Let no man snatch that crown. If anything, you growing in this truth, you should be what? Shining that crown. You see? Lord willing, you are of the elect, and we are of the elect. All right. We haven't received the crown yet or anything, because in order for you to receive a crown, you have to be of the elect and beamed up into those chariots. All right. And have to be part of that ceremony, which speaks it speaks about that in Second Ezra's, I believe is the second chapter. All right. But you have to put in your mentality, right, in your mind, not being cocky, still remaining humble, but having faith that you are of the elect. You see, you have to have that mentality like that, man, that you are of the elect, with humbleness, not being cocky with it, but acting as if you already have a crown waiting for you. And what are you doing? You shining that crown more and more. The more you shine that crown, all right, it's the more you keep growing in this truth. Because the more you growing in this truth, the more you feel like you are of the elect. As a matter of fact, it's a good movie of Matrix, all right? In the movie The Matrix, when Neo went to go see the Oracle, right? Where the scene where he drops the vase, what was above the door? Above the door was that saying. It was in Latin. I forgot how the saying went, but it said, "Know thyself" in Latin. See, you yourself have to know thyself. You have to put on like you are the elect. Put on as the elect, KJV.
According to Bible,
King James Version. This is
the elect of God.
This is Colossians 3 and 12, and it says, "Put on therefore as the elect of." Let me see what it says before that. Yeah, 3 and 12, Colossians says, "Put on therefore as the elect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering." You see, so you have to have that confidence, like you are of the elect. You see, and not being cocky with it, but being humble. That's just you boosting up your own faith. That's knowing who you are. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have that attitude, that's doubting yourself, basically. And there's no room for doubt in this truth. You see, because with doubt comes you falling short, basically. I always say doubt is a disease, man. That shit is like a cancer. All right. With doubt comes fear. With doubt comes, you being unfaithful, having no faith. Think about when who was it that I think it was Peter, when he was walking on the water. He started walking on water, but as soon as he doubted himself, what did he do? He fell into the water. Salaki, if it's not Peter, I forgot who it was. But he started doubting himself and he fell into the water. And what did Yahushua say to him? He said, you are of little faith, man. You see, that's why you don't put doubt in your mind. So you have to put as if you are of the elect, man. Shalom, brother. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Barakatah. That's right. 2 Peter 1 and 10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your election and calling sure. You see? To make your calling and election sure, for if you do these things, you shall never fail. You see? And if you're doing the diligence, why would you not feel like you are of the elect? You're doing what is commanded of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, what is required for you to do to receive salvation. You see? This is Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob, lock it. Got this rubber band holding my it says, for Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee that thou hast not known me. See, he has called us by our name because he has reserved a certain amount of men to be his elect, man. And if you're called into this truth, all right, you got to run with it, man. Straight forest with it. You know, you got to run till you can't run no more. And at the end of the day, your works are going to be made prosperous by you doing that. You see? So put on like if you are the elect. All right. So going back to Titus 1:9, it says, holding fast the faithful word as he has been taught, that he may be able, so that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. And in order for you to convince the gainsayers and all that, in order for you to exhort, okay, you have to grow in this truth. All right, you can't be stuck in one side, man. Let's go to since I'm in Titus, let's go to Titus 2 and 6. Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded. All right. It says, meaning encourage the others. All right. It says, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, and doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned. You see? And in order for you not to be condemned, man, you have to grow in this truth. You got to be able to bring out what at any time, you know, prepare yourself for the battle. That anybody that try to come up against the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man, you able to defend it. That's what we are. We're gospel defenders. We're defenders of the gospel. So we have to be ready to answer at all times. And how are you able to do that? By growing constantly in the truth, more and more. All right. It says sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. You see? And they ain't gonna be able to even say anything against you because they're just gonna be sitting there like, how can I even say something to this man? This man on point. You see? This man is eating me left and right with straight scriptures. That's why that word is like, it tells you what? Hebrews 4:12, man. This word is like a two-edged sword, man. You got to swing that sword all over the place. You see? That's why we tell you to be ready for the battle, man. This battle's spiritual at the end of the day. This battle is us constantly pulling out this sword and swinging it. That's the only defense we have. See, we're not carnal in this truth, all right? We are nowhere near being carnal. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Everything is spiritual. So the only defense that we have, all right, being here as we're waiting for Yahushua to crack them clouds and, you know, bring vengeance upon this place, all we got is the spiritual sword to swing it around, which that's enough. This spiritual sword right here, it gives stiff arms, man, back and forth. And that's why people be straight hurt by you just bringing out the word. That's why we're hated, because we're bringing out the truth. People tell you the truth and it hurts. You know, we're not prophesying those smooth things, those, you know, the prophesying deceits. You know, we're telling you straight how it is. You don't like it, oh well. The truth ain't for you. You know, we know what spirit you're in already. All right. So let me jump into This is Ecclesiasticus 21. Ecclesiasticus 21. Let me get there real quick. Ecclesiasticus 21 and 11. He that keepeth the law of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua getteth the understanding thereof, and the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom. He that is not wise will not be taught. See, if you're not wise, man, and you're not fearing Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and doing what's commanded, you're never going to receive this knowledge, and you're never going to grow in this truth. You know, you got to be all for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You got to dedicate your whole body, soul, mind to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. If you being double-minded, man, you're unstable in all your ways. All right? You have to come to serve the Lord, and that's it. You can't drink the cup of the Lord and drink the cup of devils. It's not going to work out for you. All right? So it says, he that is not wise will not be taught, but there is a wisdom which multiplieth bitterness. The knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood. Yeah, having them rivers of living water to the point where you can't even stand in there anymore. You see, you drowning yourself with these scriptures. Going back to what did I name the title? You see, keep water in your garden. All right. Matter of fact, let me grab that. Let me finish reading this real quick. It says, the knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood, and his counsel is like a pure fountain of life. You see? Constantly going to keep flowing in this truth. All right? This is Ecclesiasticus 24. 24 and where is it at? 24 and 24. Faint not to be strong in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that he may confirm you. Cleave unto him, for the Lord Almighty is power alone, and besides him there is no other Savior. He filleth all things with his wisdom, as Pison and as Tigris in the time of the new fruits. All right, which Pison and Tigris are rivers. All right, and it says, he maketh the understanding to abound like Euphrates, and as Lordan in the time of the harvest, he maketh the doctrine of knowledge appear as the lights, and as Gion in the time of vintage. The first man knew her not perfectly, no more shall the last find her out. For her thoughts are more than the sea, and her counsels profounder than the great deep. I also came out as a brook from a river, and as a conduit into a garden. I said, I will water my best garden, and will water abundantly my garden bed. You see, you got to water your garden constantly, man. Because what happens when you don't water a real garden in real life? Your plant withers, man. Your fruit withers. Everything dies off. The sun hits it, ain't getting no water. That shit thirsty as hell. All right. And what ends up happening? You dry up. And you become what? Stubble. And what happens with stubble? It just disintegrates, man. So it says, I said, I will water my best garden and will water abundantly my garden bed. You got to constantly put water in your garden bed. You got to constantly, it's like your body. You see, if you don't drink water, what happens to your body? You actually start to dehydrate. All right. And what happens when you dehydrate, man, that's not good for your body. Your body's made up of 80% water. You see? So you yourself, if your body's made up of water, what is this? The living waters, man. You got to constantly drink water. to keep yourself going, to keep yourself alive in this truth. You see? It's beautiful that we are made out of 80% water, and that's what we need to survive, because you don't need food to survive as long as you have water. You see? So it's the same thing with this truth. We, being in this truth, all right, we got to constantly water ourselves with this truth. That's why Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said, I am the bread of life. He that believeth on me shall never hunger. He that believeth on me shall never thirst. You see? Because if you constantly watering yourself, man, you're constantly growing in this truth. You're not going to be thirsty at all. If anything, you're going to thirst for more water of this truth. You see? Wanting to grow more and expand more. You know? It says, I said, I will water my best garden and will water abundantly my garden bed. And lo, my brook became a river and my river became a sea. You see, to the point where you drown yourself in this truth and you just like, damn, you already know how to swim and everything. You can't even swim in this shit. Because it's so filled up with with this truth. You know? And it says, I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning and will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy and leave it to all ages forever. Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. Yeah, because we do this thing for the elect. We continue to endure for the elect's sake at the end of the day, man. This is why you can't fall off, because if you one that's preaching his word, man, people depending on you, man. The elect that's not preaching, all right, that are learning, are depending on you to continue to feed them with knowledge and wisdom. And Yahushua clearly told Peter what? All right. What did he say? He said, feed my sheep, feed my lambs. All right. And that's what we're constantly supposed to do. Feeding, feeding, feeding. All right. Let's go to this is Wisdom of Solomon 6. Six and 9. Unto you, therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom and not fall away. For they that keep holiness holy shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find out what to answer. Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. See, we're supposed to desire these things, man. Forget the desires in the, of the lust of the world, man. You're supposed to be desiring this truth, wanting to know more and more of this truth. You see? Thirsting for righteousness' sake. It says, I lost my place. Oh, 11. Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yeah, because the understanding, the wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is unsearchable, man. It's forever. It's for eternity. If we're gonna live, all right, immortal, if we're gonna be immortals, you're gonna have continual wisdom forever and ever and ever. So that means that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's knowledge is there's no end to it. You see? You're going to be learning something new every day in the kingdom. All right. It says, wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yeah, she is easily seen of them that love her. And this is why we have a certain aura around us, man, because we're filled with it. So we speak different from the rest of the world. We don't walk in the same steps of the rest of the world. You see? And it says, wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yeah, she is easily seen of them that love her and found of such as seek her. All right. It says, she prevented them that desire her and making herself first known unto them. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. To think, therefore, upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her. You gotta be worthy of this knowledge, man. Worthy of this truth. Okay? It says, for she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showing herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. And the love is the keeping of her laws, and giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. Ooh, that's just beautiful. Okay. So this is why you got to constantly grow. All right. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. I'm going 8 since I'm right here. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 8 and I don't want to read the whole chapter because 8 and I want 21, and I'm gonna grab let me grab it from the top real quick. Wisdom reaches from one end to another mightily, and sweetly does she order all things. I loved her and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty. And that she is conversant with Yahweh, she magnifieth her nobility. Yeah, the Lord of all things himself loved her, for she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of Yahweh and a lover of his works. You see? So you want to be that's your true woman. All right? That's your true girl. Matter of fact, we had somebody at the camp just now, a lady. She was actually being sincere and listening. She was asking, she asked all the brothers, she was like, do y'all have wives? And, some of us do, some of us did, whatever. At the end of the day, this is our wife, man. There's nothing we want more than this truth. All right. 7, and if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtuous, for she teaches temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjectureth aright what is to come. She knoweth the subtleties of speeches, and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders in the events of seasons and times. Yeah, because knowledge and wisdom is always going to be the stability of that time. So you see everything that's coming. All right. And if you're not growing in this truth, you're not going to see none of this coming, man. All right. Not even going to read that whole chapter, but I'll jump down to 17, it says, now when I consider these things in myself and ponder them in my heart, how that to be allied unto wisdom is immortality. You see, having that wisdom is what's going to get you that immortality at the end of the day, that crown that we want. All right. It says 21, nevertheless, when I perceived that I could not otherwise obtain her, except Yahweh gave her me, going back to what? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the one that gives the increase, man. And that was a point of wisdom. Also to know whose gift she was, I prayed unto the Lord and besought him, and with my whole heart I said, all right. It says, O power of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who has made all things of thy word and ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made, and order the world according to the equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart. Give me wisdom that sitteth by the throne, and reject me not from among thy children. You see? So you don't want to be rejected from this knowledge, man. You want this knowledge to continue. That's why you got to pray upon that, man, that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua increase you in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding constantly, over and over and over again, begging for that same thing. All right. Let me jump into Wisdom of Solomon. I believe some is in 11. Man, listen, Wisdom of Solomon and Ecclesiasticus, that's some juicy chapters about knowledge and wisdom, man. All right. Growth. Let's see. You know what? Let me read it from 10 a little bit. All right. 10 and 21. It says, for wisdom opened the mouth of the dumb and made the tongues of them that cannot speak eloquent. You see? Because that's what happened with Moses. What did Moses say to Yahweh? He said, I am not eloquent, I am slow to speech. All right. But he said, who has made man's mouth? Who has created the blind? Who has made the deaf? He said, go out there and I will put the words in thy mouth. So by you having Yahweh Bashim Yahushua with you, man, he put the words in your mouth. He make that wisdom come out of your mouth. All right. It says, for wisdom opened the mouth of the dumb and made the tongues of them that cannot speak eloquent. She prospered their works in the hand of the holy prophet. You see? So that's why we're able to go out there and preach this word and sound a certain way and have a certain vibration to us, man, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has made us eloquent to speak, apt to teach. And as we're continually growing in this truth, we're learning more and more. Where it's all in the memory, man. You want to be to the point that if this Bible gets snatched up from you tomorrow, you're not worried about it. Why? Because it's all in your head. Book of Eli shows you that, man. He didn't need the book at the end of the day. Why? Because it was all in his head. That's how you want to be. All right. It says she's prospered in their works in the hand of the holy prophet. They went through the wilderness that was not inhabited and pitched tents in places where there lay no way. They stood against their enemies and were avenged of their adversaries. You see, how you going to be able to stand against your enemies, against your adversaries? By growing in this truth. All right. When they were thirsty, they called upon thee, and water was given them out of the flinty rock, and their thirst was quenched out of the hard stone. All right. Which that's going to go into, it goes into Yahushai. You know, when the waters was cracked, all right, the rock, when they were thirsty and all that, which that's how you know, that's how you know King Solomon was Yahushai, because he's explaining that. You see, if you have the ears to receive that, man, all right, the eyes to see, you know that King Solomon was Yahushai. All right, but the point was she prospered in their works in the hand of the holy prophets. So you know who's the ones that have the truth, man. If you have the spirit of discernment at the end of the day. All right. Let me grab a couple more scriptures and I'm gonna wrap it up. Let's see Proverbs real quick. Proverbs. My bad. I hope my car didn't die doing that just now. This is Proverbs 7:4. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. All right, yeah, because when you have wisdom, man, you're not able to be and when you grow in this truth, there's no enchantment against Jake. All right. That strange woman is going into these different philosophies and things like that. You know, the lips of a strange woman, all of that is talking about these other philosophies. So when you're growing in this truth, man, there's nothing that can separate you from the love of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man, at the end of the day. You know, right? Matter of fact, saying that, this is Proverbs 5:3, and it says, for the lips, for the lips of a strange woman, all right, drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. All right. And if you're not growing in this truth, man, you'll be sweet talking, taken away real quick, you know. But hey, that's pretty much the point, you see. So in this truth, man, we got to constantly grow, constantly water your garden, man. All right, to the best of your ability. Matter of fact, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai said, if any man lack knowledge, all right, in James, he said, if any man lack knowledge, ask of it, and it shall be given to you liberally. You see, if you lacking in something, just ask Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to boost you up, to increase you, you know, to strengthen you in that field, you know. And Lord's will, if it's his will, he will, man, at the end of the day. All right. So that's pretty much the point with the spirit. You know, I ended off on that note. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Barak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Water brother for the scriptures. May you continue to fight the good fight of faith and endure as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. So to the next one, Shalom. Shalom.